And with that, I would now like to invite our third round of speakers to join me, please, here on the stage. This session will be on public value in data and AI, and our speakers for this session are Mario Pichler, who is from Action Group 5 Focal Point on data and AI. Kevin Boesch, please do join me. Kevin Boesch, who is going to talk to us about AI sandboxes. Gianmarco Piola, talking about the ALIZE project. And last but not least, a respondent, Niklas Rakowski, who is the Legal and Policy Officer with the AI Office in the European Commission. A very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us. And over to you, please, Mario.
Thank you, Alison. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to welcome you in this session on public data and public value in data and AI. Short introduction, the Software Competence Center is an application-oriented research center in Hagenberg. It's a small village with a software park there. Here near the city of Leeds. So we do application-oriented research in data science, software science, artificial intelligence, and we were also partners in the already smart community and smart era projects. And we are also partnering in the Austrian European Digital Innovation Hubs, as it is read a number of times already today. So we are here partners with Australia as well. And yes, so in this specific session, we will address and discuss about how data and AI, while those terms were not mentioned in the workshop before, we hope that there is an interest in AG5. We are definitely sure regards the importance. So we would like to figure out about the value of data and AI. While ensuring accessibility, just in cross-border accessibility. For that, we have there the panel of distinguished speakers. I would like to start with Kevin Boesch. He is an AG5 member, and he is a technical expert at the Office for Digital Innovation in the National Administration of Liechtenstein. Kevin was contributing to the administration's AI strategy, and is currently leading the SEPA of the AI regulatory sandbox in Liechtenstein. And he will tell us about the lines of the process so far, what's the achievements so far, and also about the connections to AG5. And with that, I'd like to hand over to you, Ken.
Thanks, Mario. And thanks for the opportunity to talk today how we approach learning about the AI, especially about regulatory learning in Liechtenstein. Especially, we're going to talk a bit about the AI Sandbox project that we have started in Liechtenstein, which is a 40-ish thousand inhabitant country, so quite limited by size and right in the middle of the Alpine region. So for those of you who are not working on AI sandboxes, the idea behind AI sandboxes is that it's a secure environment where companies can test and develop their systems, their AI systems, and you receive regulatory feedback from the corporate health authorities. And one crocodile thing is specifically 3 factors, because I've learned today that 3 is the magic number for phrasing concepts. So the first one is that influence regulatory sandbox is what we would like to achieve as a nation. So the strategy, the AI strategy of Liechtenstein. The second part is what we have to do. So what needs to be done based on the AI Act and also the Implementation Act for regulatory sandboxes. And the third part is what the industry actually needs or expects from the AI sandbox. So sorry about the strategy. A couple of weeks ago, we have released the strategy for the National Administration of Liechtenstein, which is built around 4 pillars: its organization, its governance, its people, and its infrastructure. And the AI sandbox is one of the core pillars within the governance section. But in general, it's really much people focused in order to build our skills also within the public administration. For the policy part, there is Article 57 in the AI Act. It tells that every member state has to create an AI regulatory sandbox. So that's the important parts. But also the Implementation Act on AI regulatory sandboxes stresses that SMEs should have a preference on accessing the sandbox, which is also important for Liechtenstein, which has a really heterogeneous, strong industry, but quite limited, of course, in size of the country it is. And we highly appreciate the work that is done with the subgroups on sandboxes, which helps also small administrations with artifacts that we can reuse and thereby standalone roses of bigger member states. And when it comes to industry, because I think this is important for AI sandboxes, because it won't make much fun if there's no participation of the industries within sandboxes. We have to deliver some value. You could also say we have to sell the idea of the sandbox. And therefore, we have done a study which was a combination of quantitative and qualitative questions for our industry participants. And the challenges that the companies are facing is first is the regulatory uncertainty when it comes to AI, but also access to data. And the third part that was mentioned was access to talent, all the topics that we also have heard today in the different sections as well. We would like to make sure that the companies also participates and definitely have to provide and make sure that there is value, but also make it easy to access the sandbox in the end. So AI regulatory sandbox will most probably not to have a better understanding of the regulatory environment, therefore reduce regulatory uncertainty, but it will probably help with acquiring talent. So therefore, we also see that EUSALP has strong impact also with, for example, conducting AI hackathon, where we have seen really people getting their heads dirty by actually working on projects that are connected to AI, but also in work package on data access, which could then again also address one of the needs that the industry share with us when asking about regulatory services. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Kevin. So from this regulatory perspective, he allows Sitchin a bit in another direction, but it's also on data with AI. Next we have Gianmarco Piola. He is the head of SIPI, Smart Communities and Innovation Department, the Piemonte Innova Foundation. He's involved in innovation projects with local stakeholders at the city of Turin and the Piedmont region, and he manages the national cluster for smart communities. And today he will talk about Alpine Living Lab innovation via AI experimentation in the live project. And please, the process. Gianmarco.
Thank you for the introduction, and I have to say I'm really happy to be here. Just a comment, when I was preparing my slide and my presentation, I was really glad with a solid project on policies and everything that you tackle in the project ideas, and you playing in this venue and you start this, hearing all the panelists, okay, to do, there's a new challenge I have to take it, and oh wow, so many things still to do, but it's not depressing. It's really encouraging for all the enthusiasm of everyone that is sharing that and via their experiences. I wanted to share that. And the GLAI project in a nutshell, it's a project idea, the project proposal that we prepare for the fourth call on the Interreg Alcatra program, the first program that ended by the Meg. So we are waiting for result. In a nutshell, it's a cross-border shared living lab. So when back to my question, it's a project about public-private. We are working on with different territories. There is the city of Turin, there is the Chambéry, Abismora, and there is the region of Valle Aosta that's composed of really, really small villages. And the project is on the AI. The AI is a topic in the three different, let's say, regions, territories. There are different challenges that will be tackled. The carbonization in Turin, public service in Chambéry, the tourism in changes based on the climate change topic, and we will tackle the key of AI as a leverage for new skill, new entrepreneurship, and smart specialization for the SMEs. In that sense, the companies will have the opportunity to, let's say, a digital passport to roam in the different node of the transport living lab, assessing different kind of services, having a direct relation with the different local public administration in order to understand what are the specific challenge of the territory, in order to define and program their specific services in response to those challenges, and then to like a funnel activity from orientation to services to experimentation in the territories. And then the public administration, we have the opportunity to acquire by the solution that will let's say answer to the challenges the issue. Complementary to a structured program for structured SMEs, we will also have let's say an acceleration program that will be shared in the different nodes for new technology, for involving the YAUC in developing new services, because we will be tackling new opportunities using AI. So we will be looking for new ideas, and we will also look for attracting new talents. But it's a term that I come many times today. It's a topic for everyone. It's a topic also for a big city like Turin. Turin has nowadays a talent attraction program, because every territory is working and it's looking for ways to attract talent. So we will work in a shared environment, and the layouts and all the companies, we will have the opportunity to live and thrive in a city like Turin, in a smaller city like Chambéry, or in a rural area like the mountains in Italy. So a couple of elements, maybe the sexier part of the policy in this project are the cities as driver for innovation, and that's, for me, it's a really relevant aspect, because it's easier to involve companies in a program for innovation. It's not just based about the funding the company, but it's about having a market. It's about having the opportunity to really work with real scenario data, and to respond to real challenges for the territory. And it's not just about having, let's say, in my opinion, the first client. It's also to, and this will be one of the challenges that we will be tackling it, the opportunity to look for the scalability and replicability based on the impact of your solution. So we will encourage the companies to experiment in Turin, and in the same way in a small city in Valdosta, or Italy and France, in order to have different let's say, evidence of what a solution can be in a community. And that's right.
Not only has to.
The 30-second, sure, the topic. Second topic is urban-rural linkages. I know it's not strictly urban-rural linkages, because in that sense it should be more about the metropolitan area, but we are looking for the potential collaboration, the sharing of competencies opportunity between a bigger city center like Turin that have opportunity, competencies, university, finance, companies, and smaller areas like the Valdosta region, where those opportunities are invested. And okay, and let's see. And there are many more active, but you can see something in the slide, and we will have time maybe during the barbecue tonight.
Thank you very much, Marco. I think very interesting aspects. His project proposals, so to say. I like this idea of this digital passport, so that the participants can wander around in these different regions of the project, and then really learn about how the AI can really make public where we get. And also I learned that policies can also be sexy. That's very interesting. Yeah. Okay. And with that, we would like to hand over to Niklas Rakowski. He is a legal and policy officer at the Innovation Policy Collaboration Unit of the AI Office at PG Connect. And as usual, we will now respond to that to project pitches, initiative pitches.
Thank you very much. Also,
first of all, thank you very much for the presentations and the insights, and also thank you very much for the organizers, because you make my job quite easier, because these two projects are now really easy to connect to my day-to-day work at RE, and the overall approach that we take on AI at the Commission. We heard today already that 3 is a magic number, but when we think about the European approach to AI, we maybe refer to 3 central policy documents. Of course, the AI Continent Action Plan adopted last year that really sets out the preconditions for Europe to become an AI continent, from infrastructure to skills. We have the AI Act, which was at the trustworthiness and sets out harmonized rules for the development and deployment of the AI systems and certain AI models in the single market. But we also have the AI strategy, which was adopted last year in October, which is at the uptake of AI in strategic sectors. And it's really these 3 documents combined as a whole, which sets out like a comprehensive picture. And I think these 2 projects make it really tangible. What would be the vision? And then we start maybe with the first one, with Alive, which connects really well also to the work in our unit, because the way I think about AI in Europe is not that Europe has a problem with AI innovation, it has a problem with say of AI innovation. And here I think this project is really a good move in the right direction, because it's overcomes a little bit the fragmentation. So you have the interregional cooperation. So if you have an AI system or an AI provider, an AI solution that works well in 2 regions, it's easier to scale to the 3rd, to the 4th, to the 5th. So this is something that really welcome and invite you, and what we really want to foster. And the second thing I think that I want to highlight here is really the challenge-driven approach. So if you think about AI, and you set out the so-called AI first principle in the FII strategy, it doesn't mean that AI is the solution perfect. We don't want to throw at AI at everything, but we want to invite organizations and also policymakers to consider AI as a potential solution for strategic challenges that we face. And this is really what the night is doing. So this is something that we really want to welcome, that we really want to support. We really, I think also the European approach to AI, what sets it apart to other regions is really the focus on SMBs. So the bottom-up approach, so focus on skills. And this is also something that resonates really well, or that is reflected really well in this project. So this is something that I really want to highlight, to stress. When it comes to the AI regulatory sandboxes, I think Kevin already mentioned really well what the purpose is, what we want to achieve. Maybe let me stress this 2 or 3 aspects there. So under the digital omnibus or under the AI omnibus, the deadline for national competent authorities to set up the AI regulatory sandboxes was postponed to mid-August. Still, we really invite member states and also national competent authorities from the EA to move ahead, really understand the AI regulatory sandboxes not as an obligation to fulfill and tick the box, but as a tool for your own ecosystem, because it's itself an innovative tool. If you think about it, it's the sandboxes haven't been around for quite some time. They're ready, they're very new, and they serve a dual purpose. One is, of course, accelerating innovation and providing a secure environment for innovation, but also regulatory learning. So it also helps the competent authorities to really understand what are the problems that these innovators are facing, and thus, as the European Commission, to really understand how is this regulation applied in practice. So this is really, really valuable as a tool. I think we understand it, if we get it right. And you were mentioning something up. I'm wrapping up. Perfect. Before coming into FAI, and maybe touching on the AI board subgroup, where I hear, and now we discovered that we have been cooperating already together, the Illinois, and we really want to help the member states, the national competence authorities, to set up the regulatory sandboxes, for example, by the templates that we deliver for the application forms, for the sandbox pad. We recently circulated the first draft, and we invite you to
also make use of it and test it in practice and see if it works in practice in the sandbox. And also want to point out two more aspects. One is the USR project, the support action by the Commission from the Digital Europe program to really support the member states. They're setting up the sandboxes. And I also want to invite you to look at the innovation ecosystem with Marius in here, also with the help of the European Digital Innovation Hubs. And there's also an Eddie in Liechtenstein. And we really want to invite you to also work with them together because they have a good understanding of the market. They really know what's out there. And they can help also with setting up the samples of these providers. So we see ticket expertise. And then we finish with Monkey. When setting up this area radio for sandboxes, let's really work together in a way that it researches the target group, the SMEs, make it as practical as possible. One aspect is the free access to area radio sandboxes for SMEs, but also practical charts. We really need to make sure that they're really easy to use for SMEs. And here we welcome any areas of you offer any support that you need and setting it up in a way that is functional both for you but also for SMEs.
Yeah, thank you very much to all of you. So it's time to wrap up. You know that AG5 in this current work period, 26 to 28, is really trying to explore the potential of data in the AI for finding solutions for this cross-territorial progress. We have heard a lot of them also from us, our purpose here region today. And it's in natural risks, it's in mobility, it's in energy, it's in tourism, and so on. And the ambition for sure is that we need to come up with trustworthy AI solution, very bit also from Olivia and others. And then it's a bit just the public services. They need to be useful, sure, but they need to be explainable, they need to be understandable, and they need to be compliant. We heard it in the sandbox case. We need to have interoperable data sets that are really providing the fuel, so to say, for these AI models and the AI applications on top of it, to come up with essential services that are accessible then in remote areas like e-health, e-governments, e-work. We talked about skills and digital literacy before the AI is on e-literacy. So it's very important that everyone knows about those issues. And therefore, our EG5 has three main activities at the moment. First one is the Alpine AI challenges with the use council. So it's really interesting and important that the use is really engaged, and what we have seen in this AI hackathon a month ago in Kempten, in less than a day of work, also during the night, this different groups of students came up with really interesting solutions, maybe from completely different aid that normally people might have, and the second major activity of AG5 is a collection of click links on inclusive digital public services. You have heard a lot today, and I see specifically in the Arrive project, this is also one of the major needs. You like to serve 180 to 200 SMEs. It's very important. And then the third activity is the Advanced Digital Technologies Investigation for Alpine economic development and sustainability based on data spaces and AI studies. There was a joint study between Action Group 2 and Action Group 5. So there's lots of ground on which you can be about. And when I look specifically at the policy recommendations of the Alive project, I think all the four policy recommendations that you mentioned really are, I would say, very much in line with the aims and the objectives of the EDI network as well, European Digital Innovation Network. So I think there is big potential if we can find synergies between your project proposal in this big network of European digital innovation hubs, maybe also creating a cluster of Alpine ways. And I think then there's a good starting point to come up with public value from stemming from data. And with that, I would like to finish.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause for our speakers in this session. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.